Welcome to Wellington International. My name is Ellen Sweetnam, and we are here for the $32,000 CSI3 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup Week 2 of the Winter Equestrian Festival. Our title sponsor of WEF 2 is WeatherTech. At WeatherTech, our high-performance solutions are designed to protect your vehicles from damage no matter what you drive. Visit WT.com to find your fit today. The sponsor of today's class is Adequan. Adequan, American Region Animal Health maker of Adequan Polysulfate Glycone, is a proud sponsor of today's $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup Round 2. For over 30 years, Adequan has been trusted by veterinarians, trainers, and horse owners. Visit adequan.com to learn more. First in today will be Ireland's Bertram Allen on Kingston. Kingston is a 9-year-old gelding by Uttalan out at Alpharetta. This is Bertram's first week over with us here at Wellington International for week 2 of the Winter Equestrian Festival. This pair competed in yesterday's Dog Technologies FEI class that kicked off our FEI week here at Wellington International. Finished up with a double clear and finished in 14th place. Bertram coming around to our last line, just holding on that 4 falls down through our Adequan double before finishing over fence 12 and 13 at the far side end of our derby ring here at Wellington International. First one in, Bertram finishing up there with the 4 faults. So I said first in, Bertram Allen on Kingston, finishing up there in 4 faults. The first to go in this $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup week 2 of the Winter Equestrian Festival. Second to go in today's class will be Richard Neal. He is aboard Catmaco LS. Time allowed is set at 77 seconds. This pairing spent their summer both in New York and at WEC Ocala. So some experience down here during the summer and then transitioning up to New York for a bit before preparing for the season here at Wellington International. This combination did jump at us during pre-season, so put some time in the ring over at that stadium before transitioning over to the Derby field here for the first week of the Winter Equestrian Festival. Throughout the season we will transition between the Derby field and the stadium, so giving riders an opportunity to jump on both grass and sand. Third into the ring today will be Ireland's Andrew Bournes. Andrew is aboard DSM DM42. 3 gone so far in today's $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup, here week 2 of the Winter Equestrian Festival. This combination competed at a 5-star level both in Spruce Meadows and Traverse City during the summer of 2024. This is the first week riders have had the opportunity to jump on the grass, so definitely something people will have to get used to. Our Dog Technologies FEI class did run on the grass yesterday, so some riders and horses will return. Andrew just finishing up there on the 4 jumping falls, coming up that Hermes Oxer. Different to last week, for anybody who watched the Adequan WEF Challenge Cup last week, we ran it as a winning round, which meant the top 12 returned for the jump off. No matter if falls today, that is not the case. We are running it as a regular jump off class, so clears will return for the jump off, and no matter how many of them there are. We have 3 gone so far. Next in, we welcome the USA's Charlotte Jacobs. She is aboard North Star's Instrumental. This combination had a top 10 finish in a 3-star meter 50 in December of 2024 here at Wellington International. Charlotte was another one of our riders that jumped during pre-circuit with us. She was also 3rd in a 2-star speed in Traverse City during the summer of 2024. Charlotte, one of our riders, getting a top placing in last week's Saturday Night Lights class, as well as I believe winning over 8 FEI classes during the circuit of 2024. So had a successful summer, won 3 back-to-back classes in Traverse City, winning every class during the FEI week of that week. Just picking up that plank at fence 9 before coming down to our last line. And just coming home to our last line at 12 and 13 at that far end of this Derby field. Charlotte coming home there with the 3 down there. Those obstacles coming at fence 9, 11 and 13. So Charlotte Jacobs and Instrumental just finishing up there on the 3 down. Gone so far in today's $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup week 2 of the Winter Equestrian Festival. Next in, we welcome Mimi Gotchman, and she is aboard Incline BH. This is a 10-year-old gelding by Staccato Gold out of Don't Touch Donna. His combination were second in a 5-star at the Hampton Classic Grand Prix in September of 2024. Also receiving some top placings in New York and in Europe during last summer. Mimi training with Dara Kenny and his team over at Oakland Stables. Mimi really has a really nice string of horses. Has been very consistent over the months in New York and also traveling to Europe, jumping on some teams. Really nice there, maybe giving us a clear round in today's $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. After Mimi, we welcome Paul O'Shea. Paul is aboard a squirt gun. This is a 14-year-old gelding by Diardo out of Sartassus Star. These combination had a successful summer together, finishing out 2024 with a trip to Ocala, and were the winners of a 3-star Grand Prix qualifier, as well as second in the Grand Prix in Tryon during October of last year. Paul, a very consistent rider, can seem to get on any type of horse and really get the best out of them. Coming down to our last line. Paul putting a really nice round in there. Clear over the jump, just waiting on a confirmation of that time for Paul O'Shea and Squirt Gun. Next in, we welcome Alex Granado. He is aboard El Diablo du Nord. This is a 11-year-old gelding by Durant out of Inga Gill. This combination were third in a 3-star welcome stake in Traverse City during the summer of last year. And the pair having a consistent summer in Traverse City and Kentucky, jumping up to a 4-star level together. Alex was another one of our riders that we saw frequently during pre-season. A little rub at the plank. but seem to have gotten away with it, just hitting that Hermes Oxer at 10. Alex is finishing up there on the 12 jumping falls as well as 2 time falls, and a time of 78.64. So just to catch you guys up, our clear so far is Paul O'Shea. He was clear in a time of 76.92. For reference, our time allowed is set at 77 seconds. Mimi Gotchman had 1 time fault in 77.30, and Richard Neal had 2 time faults in 78.19. Andrew Burns just picking up that 4 faults in 75.86. Bertram Allen finishing up with 4 jumping and 11 or 7 time faults, giving him a total 11. In a time of 83.50. Alex Granado, as I said, with the 12 jumping and 2 time faults. And Charlotte Jacobs picking up 12 jumping and 4 time faults. Next into the ring, we welcome Olympic gold medalist Harry Charles. He is aboard Casco Blue. This is a 15-year-old gelding by Choco Blue out of WizKid. As I said, Harry was part of Team GB that won that Olympic gold medal this summer. This combination competed at the championships in Milano in 2023, as well as part of the Team GB team that got bronze at Aachen during the summer. Still on that 1 clear so far, Paul O'Shea being our only clear so far that has come within that time. Harry going clear there in a time of 74.23, so guaranteeing us a jump off in today's $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup here during week 2 of the Winter Equestrian Festival. Next into the ring, we welcome Amy Miller. She is aboard Jagger HX. This is a 11-year-old gelding by Listov out of Footloose HX. This combination picked up top placings during the summer, spending their summer base out of Canada. Amy, of course, also part of the Major League circuit, so spending some time following that circuit as part of the Eye Candy team. On those 2 clears so far, Amy coming down just that Adequan double left at 11 A and B, and then down to our last line, crossing the far side of that Derby field at 12 and 13. Just having to keep a watch out that time allowed. Really nice there, just inside the time there. Amy going clear in a time of 76.35. The time allowed is set at that 77 seconds. So giving us our third clear in today's $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup round 2 during week 2 of the Winter Equestrian Festival. Three clears so far in today's class. Those clears coming from Paul O'Shea, Harry Charles, and from our last rider, Amy Miller. Next into the ring we welcome USA's Katie Dinan. Katie is aboard out of the blue SCF. Out of the blue is 11-year-old mare by Verdi TN out of Casablanca La Silla. This combination were second at the World Cup qualifier at Washington International in 2024. Out of the blue SCF is a previous ride of Shane Sweetnam. That SCF standing for Spy Coast Farm. Breeders and producers based out of Kentucky. Lisa Laurie, the head of that operation, really focusing on developing horses but also producing them within the US for Irish or for riders to have that option to have a more American bred horse. Katie coming home there on the 8 jumping falls as well as 2 time falls in a time of 79.40. So on those 3 clears so far, Paul O'Shea, Harry Charles and Amy Miller, we have seen 10 so far in today's class of our expected 52 in today's Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. Our next rider will be Nikki Galligan. This combination were third in last week's WEF Challenge Cup during week 1. That was based on over at the stadium. So different change of scenery today for Nicky Galligan and his mount VDL Nikita Vandalurak. This is a 12-year-old mare by Zaval VDL out of Dundara Vandalurak. As I said, this combination coming third in last week's WEF Challenge Cup over on the sand in the stadium. Just a little bit of a miscommunication coming down into that double. So just gonna pause the clock, get the ring crew to build back up that first part of that double, and the bell will ring once again for Nikki to reapproach. As I said, 10 gone so far. Nikki is our 11th to see in today's $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. With those 3 clears so far. Those clears coming from Amy Miller, Harry Charles, and Paul O'Shea. So 3 nations represented so far. As I said, 10 gone. We have about 52 expected in today's class, and we will take our first drag break after our 27th to go. So just waiting on that tone to come from that judge once again when they are ready and when they see that the course is ready for Nikki to proceed. So you can see Nikki just gathering himself, coming back down to this double at 6A and B. Oh. No, Nikki choosing to jump over number 1, so choosing to retire there for Nikki Galligan and Vidal Nikita Vandelurak. Looks like ring crew are still trying to build back up that vertical. Maybe a pole or a plank broken, so just trying to fix that before our next competitor. Next in, we welcome the USA's McLean Ward. He is aboard High Star Hero. This is a 12-year-old gelding by Zazu out of Darjuno Hero Z. High Star Hero is a previous mount of Tysa Irwin, who had a successful summer together in Europe, and then High Star Hero transitioning over to McLean during the fall. They were the winners of the 5-star Grand Prix qualifier during the Hampton Classic last year, sorry. McLean, of course, a very highly decorated US rider. No stranger to this ring. As I was saying previously, it's a change of scenery for riders being on the grass. There's not that many venues that they can be on the grass over in the US, so it's definitely something that may be a bit of a challenge for some riders today. McLean coming home there on the 8 jumping fault in a time of 75.91, so inside that time allowed of 77 seconds. So at about 11 gone so far, and our 3 clears are Ireland's Paul O'Shea, Team GB's Harry Charles, and Team Canada's Amy Miller. Next in, we welcome another US rider, Spencer Smith. Spencer is aboard his Irish bred gelding HHS Seattle. This is a 12-year-old gelding by Pacino out of HHS Cantley Lace. This combination a top 10 finish in a 5-star during the GCT Tour in Riyadh in November of 2024. As well as the winners of a 5-star 2 phase in Traverse City in September of 2024. Spencer was part of Team USA that secured the win in the Adequan at the Dublin Horse Show last summer. HHS standing for the Hughes family in Ireland, that are both breeders and producers of young horses, Irish bred horses to be bred and brought up to this level. Spencer going clear there, so giving the US a clear to join into our jump off in a time of 76.48, so just inside that time allowed of 77 seconds, but giving the US a clear and into the jump off in today's $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. We have our 4 clears so far, those clears coming from Paul O'Shea, Harry Charles, Amy Miller and Spencer Smith that we just saw. Next into the ring we welcome Alex Matz. He is aboard Junior Cannon. Junior Cannon is an 11-year-old gelding by Cannon out of Emma Labelle. His 11-year-old gelding competed at the Young Horse World Championships in Lonigan back in 2021 with Richard Vogel. Alex on this gelding picked up a top 10 finish in a 5-star at the Hampton Classic in the fall of last year. Just unlucky just picking up that plank there at 9. Alex just approaching our last line at 12 and 13 with the 8 falls so far. Alex Matz finishing up there on the 8 jumping falls and 3 time falls in a time of 79.01. On those 4 clears so far, those clears coming from Ireland's Paul O'Shea, Team GB's Harry Charles, Canada's Amy Miller and the USA's Spencer Smith. Next in we welcome Belgium's Nicolas Philipparts. He is our 15th to go in today's class. Derby de Riverland is a 12-year-old gelding by Cannon also out of Utopie de Riverland. This gelding competed at the regional championships in 2022 with Nicola's brother. This combination, however, were winners of a 5-star in Thermal in December of last year. As well as picking up 2nd in a 5-star in Monterey in November of last year. Nicola being one of those riders that joined the Major League circuit in the second half of their tour, so spending some time in the US as part of Team Archers. I believe both Nicola and Harry Charles were part of that team during the second half of the circuit. Another clear round there. So Nicola Philippart's drones are clear so far in a time of 72.81. He joins Paul O'Shea, Harry Charles, Amy Miller, and Spencer Smith. So 5 clear so far, with 5 different nations represented in today's $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. Next in, we welcome Team USA's Natalie Dean. Natalie is aboard Concalma. This is a 11-year-old gelding by Costello out of Be Happy. This combination had a very successful WEF of last year, as well as being part of our riders that jumped during pre-circuit here, picking up some top placings. Natalie being one of our riders that spent her summers between both Europe and North America, so was a key part of the Major League circuit, jumping on the Trelawney Trailblazers team, as well as spending some time on the GCT tour, part of the Notre Dame team over there. Just watching that time allowed coming home there. That time allowed is set at 77 seconds. So really nice jumping there for Natalie Dean, just picking up that time fault in 77.24. So time allowed definitely being something that people have to be cautious of today. We do have those 5 clears, as I said, but definitely several riders were caught out by that time. Those 5 clears so far coming from Paul O'Shea, Harry Charles, Amy Miller, Spencer Smith, and Nicola Philipparts. Our 17th to see in today's class out of our expected 52 is Maya Inez Dennis Chambon. She is aboard Postin LS La Silla. This is a 10-year-old gelding. As I said, on those 6 clears so far, course designer of today is Olaf Pedersen Jr. Course so far with our 17 so far gone, really a mix of different jumps coming down. Definitely the line of 9 and 10 down to 11 has been something that has been catching people out. That plan coming down once again. The first half of the course seems to be running a little bit smoother than the second half of the course for riders, but definitely a mix throughout the end of the course where the issues are arising. Maya finishing up there on the 12 jumping faults as well as 1 time fault in a time of 77.74. Next in, we welcome Todd Minigus. As I said, on those 5 clears so far, those clears coming from Paul O'Shea, Harry Charles, Amy Miller, Spencer Smith, and Nicola Philipparts. Next into the ring, we welcome USA's Todd Minigus. Todd is aboard Kickaboo Spirit. This is a 10-year-old gelding by Darius out of Lota MH. Todd was one of our riders we saw during pre-circuit here, picking up some placings at both the national level and that FEI level. This combination were 4th in a 2-star welcome stake in Tryon during the fall of 2024. Todd coming home so far on that 12 faults. Todd finishing up there on 16 jumping faults and just the one-time fault also in a time of 77.23, giving him a total of 17 faults into these $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup, week 2 of the Winter Equestrian Festival. Our 19th to go in today's class will be one of the USA's most decorated riders, Margie Goldstein-Ingalls. Margie is aboard Glade Winds Partners LLC's Jack of Hearts. Jack of Hearts is an 11-year-old gelding by Heartbeat out of Brazil S. Interestingly, Jack of Hearts jumped at the Young Horse World Championships in Lanaken back in 2018. Margie and her pair were second in a 3-star in Traverse City during the summer. I believe Margie has over 200 Grand Prix wins to her name. She is placed in several World Cup finals, competed at the Olympics for Team USA, as well as part of the silver medal team from the World Equestrian Games in Aachen back in 2006. Watching that time, just coming home there with one-time fault for Margie Goldstein-Ingalls. Really nice clear round, just picking up that one-time fault in 77.34. That time allowed is set at that 77 seconds, so definitely something people have been watching throughout the class. People are conscious of it. You could really see Margie pushing, coming down to that last vertical and taking that risk to try and beat that time allowed, but just unfortunately outside the time allowed today. Our 20th today will be Benmar Ben is aboard Dallas Vegas Batali. This is Ben's mount from the Paris Olympics, where Team GB did win that team gold medal. Dallas Vegas Batali is a 12-year-old mare out of Cap Kennedy, out of Vilta Batali. That's really exciting about the venue that we have here. We're getting our world number 1. Henrik van Eckermann will join us soon. Ben is currently ranked at world number 3. We're getting some Olympic mounts coming into our ring very early in the season also. So very exciting to have Ben here with us with some of his really good mounts. And just really showing the talent and also the expertise that he has. Also very nice to see some up and coming riders in the same class as them, so being able to watch Ben and seeing how he rides and how he approaches today's class. Really nice there. Ben made it look easy, clear around there in a time of 74.60. So Ben Mayer going clear on Dallas Vegas Batali, giving us 2 clears for Team GB, both of those who were on that team gold medalist at the Paris Olympics, Harry Charles and Ben Mayer. 20 gone so far, and we have our 6 clears. Paul O'Shea, Harry Charles, Amy Miller, Spencer Smith, Nicola Philippart and Ben Mayer. For any of those who watched last week, we did run this class as a winning round last week, so top 12 returned to the jump off no matter of the faults. I believe our winner actually was a fast 4 faulter from the first round. But today that is not the case. We are running this as a standard jump off class, so just our clears will return for today's jump off. Next in, we welcome the USA's Jonathan McCrae. He is aboard Chaco Tolino PS. This is a 10-year-old gelding by Chaco Blue out of Centilla. This combination had 2 top 10 finishes at in 3-star Grand Prix in Kentucky this fall. John spending a lot of his summer in Traverse City, picking up some top placings there. Has represented Team USA on several Senior Nations Cup teams. Both John and his wife Chris running Windsor Show Stables with some really nice up and coming horses. Really nice clear jumping there for John McCrae, just picking up those time faults on a time of 81.29. So picking up those 5 time faults there, definitely something John was conscious of throughout the round. You could really see throughout his round, but just unfortunately picking up those 5 time faults, but the clear jumping there for Jonathan McCrae. Our 22nd to go in today's class will be Cornwall BH and Amanda Derbyshire. Cornwall BH is a 7-year-old gelding by Conair out of Tessie. This combination with the winners of a 2-star Grand Prix in Aiken during the fall of last year. As well as 3rd in the 2-star Welcome Stake the same week in Aiken. I believe Amanda was winner of both the Grand Prix and the Welcome, but just on her different mounts. I feel like she rotated them. Really nice now. Just coming home to that last line on that clear jumping, just watching that time allowed. As I said, time allowed is set at that 77 seconds, so should be good. Just unfortunately clipping that last vertical though, so Amanda just finishing up there on the 4 jumping falls in a time of 73.78. So well inside that time allowed, just unfortunately with the last pole coming down. We're really seeing a mix throughout this course today. The first half of the course not causing many issues, just a scatter of jumps coming here and there, but the second half from about 8 onwards, 8, 9, 10, 11, A and B and 12 and 13, we've seen them all coming down so far in today's class. Number 9 coming down the most as of now, coming down a total of 5 times. So really you can see people, you know, trying to put pressure on themselves. At the end of the course, people start to think more about that time allowed. It's less of a concern during the start. So just a little bit of pressure on the riders and those faults coming towards the end of today's track. Next in, we welcome Riley Hiller. She is aboard Obara's Chloe. This is a 14-year-old mare by Choco Blue out of Alana. This combination were part of Team USA that earned a bronze medal in a Nations Cup in Spain in October of last year. So part of Senior Nations Cup teams. They were also third in a 3-star in New York during July of last year. And combination have jumped up to a 5-star level together. I believe it is the first time that we've seen her jumping the FEI this week, or this circuit. Many of our riders would have jumped in yesterday's Dog Technologies class also, it being a qualifier for that Grand Prix on Saturday night, as well as today's class. Just finishing up there on the 12 jumping faults and 1 time fault at a time of 77.63. So that pattern kind of following on with the obstacles coming towards the end of today's round. We have about 4 to see before our first drag break in today's class. On those 6 clear so far. First clear coming from Ireland's Paul O'Shea. Then we have 2 Team GB representatives, Harry Charles and Ben Mayer. As well as Team Canada's Amy Miller, for the USA Spencer Smith, and Belgium's Nicola Philipparts. 6 clear so far. We've seen about 24 in today's class of the expected 52. So still plenty to see today, including world number 1 Hendrik van Eckermann. Now in the ring we have Brian Cunan. Ryan is aboard First Choice HT. This is a 14-year-old gelding by Favorite Ask out of Confetti. Just unlucky having that obstacle down at 8. Having that down at 8 after that triple bar, so just naturally people landing off that triple bar and just running into a little bit of trouble at that vertical, as well as just that tight turn back to that plank at 9. Brian finishing up there on the 4 jumping as well as 2 time falls in a time of 78.55. Those obstacles coming at 8. As I said, after that triple bar down to that vertical at 8, so just causing a bit of difficulty, as well as back to that plank at 9. That plank you can go in theory as tight as you would like to come back to it, so you know, towards the end of the course people have that time allowed more prominent in their brains, so just conscious of that time and just taking a tight turn back to the plank might be worth the risk, but also just something people have to watch out for. Next in, we welcome the USA's Daisy Farish. She is aboard Kuala van der Rolenbeek. This is a 9-year-old mare by Bamco de Muse out of Go Girl. Just unlucky having that second part of that double verticals at 4B down. This combination were second in a 3-star Grand Prix in Kentucky during the fall of last year, as well as being the winners of a 2-star Welcome Stake in Traverse City during the summer. Daisy getting a really nice line back to that plank, just setting herself up down for this line. It's definitely a line that people have had issues with, so just taking that time to approach that plank at 9 quite well. Daisy finishing up there on the 8 jumping as well as 1 time in 77.85. Those 2 obstacles coming quite early in the course at 4B and 5. Really nice round there, just unlucky at the start for this 9-year-old mare. Next in, we welcome another Olympic mount. Marie Delorier should be next on his Olympic mount, Emerson. Emerson is a 13-year-old gelding by Eldiardo van de Zurenhoek. As I said, this combination did compete at the Paris Olympics this year, representing Team Canada. Already so far in today's class, we do have our one clear from Team Canada, that is Amy Miller. So seeing if Canada can bring a second rider in today's jump off of the $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup, week 2 of the Winter Equestrian Festival. This combination were also part of the silver medal team that competed at the Pan American Games back in 2023. Just unlucky having that vertical at 8 down. That really 8 and 9 seem to be the obstacles that have been coming down the most. You can see just a little bit of a rub there at the plank, but getting away with it. Emerson just finishing up there on the 4 jumping falls, that coming at that vertical at 8 in a time of 74.94. So nicely inside that time allowed of 77 seconds, but just unfortunately picking up that 4 faults. We have seen 26 so far, and we have our 6 clears. Those 6 clears coming from Paul O'Shea, Harry Charles, Amy Miller. Spencer Smith, Nicola Philipparts, and Ben Mayer. 6 clears out of that 24. I believe Nick Delajoy will be the last we will see before our drag break. And then we will return with about 26-ish at the other side of it. So next into the ring is Nick Delajoy. He is aboard Delandro van der Heidze. This is an Levero gelding by Denzel van der Meulenhof out of Pamina van der Hecke Dornikoff. This combination with the winners of a 2-star Grand Prix qualifier and the Grand Prix in Tryon in the fall of last year. Just unlucky once again, that plank coming at 8, or that vertical coming down at 8. Definitely seems to be our bogey fence, but you can see Nick just gathering himself coming back to this plank. It's really important to set yourself up for that plank because this line is quite tedious. Like, you have a big oxer. The Hermes oxer is quite big with a nice gap in the middle of it coming down to the Adequan double. And Olaf has really done a great job building today's course, and everything is coming up quite fast. You don't have much time to think. It is still only a 3-star, but it's something the riders have to start concentrating for when they start to, grow up the levels to a 4-star and a 5-star. So Nick just finishing there on the 8 jumping faults as well as 5 time faults in a time of 81.05. I believe that was our last before our drag break. You can see the guys just coming in there with the rollers. We have our 6 clears so far. Those 6 clears coming from Paul O'Shea, Harry Charles, Amy Miller, Spencer Smith, Nicola Philipparts, and Ben Mayer. We will do a quick touch-up of the surface and a quick break before we return for the second half of today's $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup, Week 2 of the Winter Equestrian Festival.
From no-drill mud flaps and water-repellent seat protectors to our laser-measured floor liners, WeatherTech has everything you need. Order yours today at WeatherTech.com, the ultimate protection for your vehicle.
Bainbridge is a fully integrated multifamily real estate company that has developed and acquired more than 43,000 units, representing $8.1 billion in transactions since its inception. With over 650 associates nationally, Bainbridge engages in virtually every step of the real estate process, from development and construction to acquisition and disposition, asset management, and third-party management of multifamily real estate. Bainbridge is the 20th largest multifamily developer and 19th largest multifamily builder in the United States. Our team of experienced and knowledgeable professionals are devoted to creating exceptional living experiences for all of our residents and building lasting and mutually beneficial relationships with our partners and clients. Bainbridge is headquartered in Wellington, Florida, with offices and apartment communities in Florida, North and South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, Maryland, and Texas. To learn more, visit www.thebainbridgecompanies.com.
At Palm Beach Equine Clinic, we know your horse is not only a superior athlete, but a part of your family. With more than 30 veterinarians, 4 board-certified surgeons, and the most technologically advanced equine imaging suite in the country, our team has all the skill sets required for accurate diagnosis and successful treatment. Palm Beach Equine Clinic is committed to providing exceptional service and care for both patients and owners. Visit equineclinic.com today to make us a part of your team.
Experience the true essence of equine serenity at Zen Elite Equestrian Center. At Zen Elite, horses and humans come together in perfect harmony. Located near the winter horse capital of the world, Wellington, Florida, our center offers unrivaled amenities designed to elevate your equestrian experience. Our facilities boast 32 stalls, 20,000 square foot covered arena, and a large outdoor arena with ESI footing. From grass paddocks to a luxurious horse gym and spa, we cater to every aspect of your horse's well-being. With top trainers in dressage and jumping,
US rider Adequan for the Sweet Water Jumpers, and as the mare by Elvis Tip puts, is the 11-year-old Olympia.
Welcome back for the second half in today's $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup here at Wellington International. This is week 2 of the Winter Equestrian Festival. We have seen 27 so far, 27 so far, and we do have our 6 clears. First into the ring after the drag break is Abigail McCardle. She is aboard Olympia Vanda Ekenoff. This is a 10-year-old mare by Elvis Turpu out of Kyra Vanda Hekenoff. This combination were another ones that we saw frequently during pre-season here at Wellington International, but that was jumped over in the stadium. As I said, this is the first week that we were jumping on the grass, so different change of scenery for riders and the horses, obviously. So something to get used to. We do this throughout the weeks of season here. We will jump on the grass, just giving riders a different opportunity to jump both on sand in our stadium as well as jumping on our grass field here at the Derby Field. Abigail and her mount were third in a 3-star Grand Prix in Kentucky, as well as receiving some top placings at a 3-star level in Tryon, all during the 2024 circuit. So just coming home there on the 8 jumping falls in 77.01, and also picking up that time fault also. That time allowed is set at that 77 seconds, so just outside that time allowed. Those obstacles coming down at that oxer at 1, as well as I would call it our bogey vertical at 8. We are on our 6 clears so far. Those clears coming from Paul O'Shea, Harry Charles, Amy Miller, Spencer Smith, Nicola Philipparts, and Ben Mayer. We have 4 people on time faults, also 3 of those just on the 1 time fault, and Richard Neal on those 2 time faults. Next into the ring, we welcome Erin Ballard. She is aboard Hero. Sydney Levy listed as the ownership of this 13-year-old gelding. Hero is by Otana Gurlo out of Accra. This combination that we see today competed at the World Cup Finals in Omaha back in 2023. Erin also part of Team Canada for the Olympics this year, sorry. This second half of the course, they really would have been able to see what fences were causing issues, as well as watching that time allowed, you know, understanding where they can make up that time allowed. It's really, at the start of the course, if you can, you know, go tight from 2 to 3 and just keeping the canter rolling throughout, because time is really an issue today. Yeah, causing another issue there for Erin Ballard. So just finishing up there on the 4 jumping faults as well as 1 time fault, and a time is 77.16 for Erin Ballard and Hero. That fence coming down for Erin Ballard at 12. It's another one of those bogey fences in today's class. Next in, we welcome world number 1, Henrik van Eckermann. Henrik is aboard Steely Dan. Steely Dan is a 9-year-old gelding by Hard Rock Z out of Giulio Castellano. Henrik was the winner of yesterday's FEI class, the Dot Technologies class, here on the Derby field with his other Mount Glamour girl. As I was saying previous, we had Ben Mayer that came in earlier on his Olympic mount. We have world number 1 here with us also. Wellington is really a haven for those riders to come. It's really nice to see some big jumping going on here, and those riders spending their time and travelling from Europe. Of course, there is the Sunshine Tour that clashes with us here over in Spain, but lots of those European riders choosing to spend their summer or their winter, with us here at Wellington International. Just a really credit to the facility we have here, as well as the jumping that goes on. Our course designers are the best in the world. Just really nice to see some of those riders like Henrik van Eckermann coming in today and spending some circuit with us. Really nice there from Hendrik, just inside that time allowed in 76.32. A little bit cautious there. That time allowed is set at 77 seconds, but just inside it there in a time of 76.32. So obviously someone to watch in the jump off. We're our world number 1. So we have our 7 clears now. Those 7 clears being Paul O'Shea, Harry Charles, Amy Miller, Spencer Smith, Nicola Philipparts, Ben Mayer, and Henrik van Eckermann. Next into the ring, we welcome Ireland's Tom Watchman. Tom is aboard Tabasco de Toxeria. This is a 10-year-old stallion by Thunder van de Zurenhof out of Exambla de Toxarazi. This stallion competed at the Young Horse World Championships in Lanaken back in 2021. This pair won a 3-star big tour in Spain back in October of 2024. The stallion being a previous mount of Kendra Brickencop, who competed at the Aachen Rolex Grand Prix. Tom, of course, training with Cian O'Connor at Carlswood. They base themselves pretty much for the whole winter out with us here. Spent some of the fall months in California following that major league tour also. Tom just coming home there on the 4 jumping faults and 3 time faults in 79.29. That fence just coming down at that vertical at 8. So unlucky just picking up that 4 faults for Tom Watchman. We have seen 31 so far. Still on those 7 clears. One of those clears coming from after the break. Drag break, that clear coming from Henrik von Eckermann. Clears from the first half of the round, first half of the course, were Paul O'Shea, Harry Charles, Amy Miller, Spencer Smith, Nicola Philipparts, and Ben Mayer. And then world number 1 coming in for the second half of today's course and being our only clear so far. With that being said, we are welcoming our 32nd in today, and we have about 52 in today's class. So 32nd to go will be Lucas Porter. He is aboard Kentucky N. This is a 10-year-old gelding by Caravera VDL out of Donaliva N. Wilton and Lucas Porter spending their summer over in Europe and basing themselves with us here in Wellington during the fall and winter months. This combination were third in a 2-star Grand Prix in Kronenberg in September of 2024. Also picking up 4th place in a 4-star Grand Prix in Saint-Marin in August of last year. And then earlier in the summer picking up a win in a 2-star Grand Prix in Riesenbeck. So definitely some top placings together, season partnership, really know each other quite well. Coming down to our last line with about 5 seconds to go to get inside that time allowed. Really beautiful round there for Lucas Porter, just picking up that 4 jumping faults in a time of 80.61. So just unlucky with that time faults, but really, really nice round there for Lucas Porter and Kentucky N. On those 7 clears so far, 6 of those coming from the first half of today's class, and just the one, world number 1, Henrik von Eckermann, being our only clear so far in today's second half of today's $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. Our winner of last Saturday Night Lights Grand Prix is next into the ring. It is Niall Nassar. Niall is aboard Paso Doble SCF. Paso Doble is a 11-year-old mare by Dictator out of Casablanca. Similar to the SCF, we go back, we saw Katie Dinan jump out of the blue SCF. SCF standing for Spy Coast Farm. Lisa Laurie heading up that operation, both breeding and producing US horses. really trying to bring up the US market with young horses and breeding them here. This combination were sixth in a 2-star welcome stick in Old Salem during the summer of last year, and also picking up a really nice double clear in a 5-star winning round at the Hampton Classic. As I said, Niall was the winner of our first Saturday Night Lights Grand Prix under the lights last week. Just unlucky there on that 4 falls, just very unlucky with that fence coming down at that double at 6. So Niall Nassar and Paso Doble SCF just finishing there on the 4 falls in a time of 75.22. Still on those 7 clears so far. A mixture of nations being represented in those 7 clears. Ireland, Team GB, Canada, USA, Belgium, Sweden. So very nice to see the different nations that are here jumping with us at Wellington International. Next in, we welcome Stella Wasserman. She is aboard her own Play. Play is a 13-year-old gelding by Ludam out of Nyan des Abros. This combination jumped clear in both the 5-star speed and the 5-star winning round in Traverse City during September of last year. This combination also competed in our Under 25 series here at Wellington International during WEF of 2024. They also had a top 10 finish in a 2-star Grand Prix during WEF of last year. So stepping up to the 3-star level today. Just unlucky having that first part of that double combination 11A down. Stella just coming home there on the 4 jumping falls, coming at 11.8 inside that time allowed of 76.11. Just that 4 falls there, 11.8, but very nice round there for Stella Wasserman. Next in to the ring will be our 35th to go in today's class will be Alessandra Volpi. She is aboard Berlinda. Berlinda is a 17-year-old mare by Berlin out of G. Shawanden. This combination competed at the World Cup Finals back in 2022. They were also the winners of a 2-star speed in Traverse City this summer. As well as picking up 5th in a 2-star Grand Prix, also in Traverse City. Alexandra being another one of our combinations that competed with us during pre-season, picking up some top placings during our Holiday in Horses series. Berlinda just coming home there with the 8 jumping faults. Those obstacles coming at both 8 and 9, so definitely the obstacles that have been causing the most of the issue in the first half of our course. So Alessandra Volpi just finishing up there on the 8 jumping faults. Next into the ring, we welcome the USA's TJ O'Mara. TJ is aboard Ona van der Helly. This is a 11-year-old mare by Carlo van der Helly out of Hilgarda K. This combination had a top 10 finish in a 2-star Grand Prix qualifier at the Hampton Classic in August of last year. Also picked up 5th in a 3-star Power and Speed in Kentucky during June of 2024. Just unlucky having that vertical at 8 down, so definitely our bogey fence in today's class. And that vertical at 9 once again coming down. Coming down to our last vertical there, TJ just finishing up there on the 12 jumping faults, as well as 1 time fault in a time of 77.93, so just outside that time allowed of 77 seconds. So a total of 13 faults there for TJ O'Mara. We have still 7 clears so far. Still on those 7 clears. Those clears coming from Paul O'Shea, Harry Charles, Amy Miller, Spencer Smith, Nicola Philipparts, Ben Mayer, and Henrik van Eckerman, world number 1. We have about 20-ish left to go in today's class. Still on that 1 clear from the second half of today's round. So we had our 6 clears from our first 26 we saw, and then just the 1 clear so far in the second half of today. Next into the ring, we welcome Rupert Carl Winkleman. He is aboard Calvardo's son. Calvardo's son is a 13-year-old gelding. This combination had a top 10 finish in a 3-star Grand Prix in Kentucky during May of 2024. They also picked up some top placings during WEF of last year, including 4th in a 3-star Grand Prix qualifier during week 12. So closed out the season here on a high. So hoping to start off the season on a high also. Just a little bit of a hesitation at that far line. So coming home there with the 12 jumping faults as well as 1 time fault for Rupercal Winkleman in a time of 77.17. That Oxford the far side just seems that the horse just looked at something a little bit funny. You have that top bank up there where people are standing, which is also something for the horses to look at. You're kind of jumping across a bank that people are on top of, so a little bit different to what they're used to. But definitely today's course has been a mixture of different obstacles coming down the second half of the course, causing more of an issue than the first for sure. That vertical at 8 and 9 really causing a lot of issues, but we've started to see more and more poles at the front half of that course come down, such as 3 that Dog Technologies Ox are there, as well as that double vertical is coming up as more of an issue than it was originally in the first half. But overall a very clean and even course. It's built very, very well. Always a great sign of a course builder is that not one jump is causing an issue, that it's a mixture of many, and you would like nearly every fence in the course to come down. So we have had a nice mix so far. In the ring now we welcome Genevieve Meyer, and she is aboard her own My Lord Miles. My Lord Miles is a 11-year-old gelding by My Lord Cartago HN out of Ticora. Genevieve being trained by Helena Stormans, so spending her time over in Europe during the summer. Then coming to us here during pre-season, so came to us in the fall, jumped in the stadium during pre-season at both the FEI and the national level, that we have both over there during pre-circuit. On that 12 jumping fault so far, coming down to our last line across this bank. Genevieve Meyer just finishing up there on the 12 jumping faults and 1 time fault in a time of 77.48. So outside that time allowed set at 77 seconds. Those obstacles coming at 4B, 6 also, as well as that plank. On those 7 clear so far, our 39th to go in today's class will be Brianne Gouton Marteau. She is aboard SNL excuse me. She's aboard SNL Marlon van de Heffenach. This is a 13-year-old stallion by Desire du Chateau out of Hirak van der Lormaaf. This horse competed at the Young Horse World Championships in Lanaken back in 2018. So a really nice mixture of horses today that jumped at a high level as a young horse in Lanaken. So nice to see those horses that competed at Lanaken stepping up to the ranks and really proving what they had as a young horse. This combination, however, picked up some top placings in New York this summer. Brianna, of course, a very decorated rider. Just watching that time allowed is set at that 77 seconds, so just something to be conscious of. Yeah, just outside the time allowed there for Brianne Gouton Marteau. So that time allowed being set at 77 seconds, and Brianne just finishing there in a time of 77.09. So just a one-time fall there for Brianne Gouton Marteau. On those 7 clear so far, with 39 gone in today's class. Those clears coming from Paul O'Shea, Harry Charles, Amy Miller, Spencer Smith, Nicola Philippart, Ben Mayer, and Henrik von Eckermann. Next into the ring should be Team GB's Jessica Mendoza. Jessica is aboard her own in the air. This is a 12-year-old mare by Air Jordan out of Selva. This combination were the winners of a 5-star 2-phase at the Washington International Show in October of 2024. They were also the winners of a 3-star speed in Traverse City during July of last year. In the air is a previous ride of Brit Shepherd. That time allowed, just something to watch there. Jumping over that oxer at 70 seconds. Should be good. Really, really nice there. Jessica Mendoza giving us a clear in time of 76.45. Had the time allowed down to a T. Knew exactly where to have it. So inside that time allowed there at 76.45 for Jessica Mendoza. So adding another one to our clear list as of now, giving Team GB a third rider in today's jump off. Giving us 8 clears so far. Those clears coming from Ireland's Paul O'Shea, Team GB's Harry Charles, Ben Mayer and Jessica Mendoza, Team Canada's Amy Miller, USA's Spencer Smith, Belgium's Nicola Philipparts and Sweden's Henrik von Eckermann. Next into the ring we welcome Ireland's Max Watchman. He is aboard Fancy de Carrigan. This is a 10-year-old stallion by Bordem de Carrigan out of Vita de Carrigan. Another horse that competed at Lanaken as a young horse back in 2021. So another horse that is proving its talents after competing at a high level as a young horse. This stallion competed at the League of Nations final with Max's trainer Kian in Barcelona last year. And this pair, so Max and the stallion, came second in a 3-star Grand Prix in Spain during November of last season. Should be good on time. Really, really nice there. Max Watchman putting in a beautiful clear in a time of 72.45. So well inside that time allowed. That is set at 77 seconds. So Max giving Ireland another rider in today's jump off of this $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup during week 2 of the Winter Equestrian Festival. We have about 12 left today in the first round of this $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup here on the Derby field at Wellington International. Our next rider will be Carlos Hunk. He is aboard H5 Shack Attack. H5 Shack Attack is a 10-year-old gelding by Cornetto Blensky out of Utopia du Val de Gougry. This combination were third in a 2-star Grand Prix in Monterey in November of last year. Pairs spent their summer in Europe jumping in some big locations like the Brussels Masters and in Valkenswaard. Carlos also being part of the Paris Olympics this year, so an Olympian, hence why spending some of his summer over in Europe. Many of those riders split their time between North America and Europe, some horses basing both here and in Europe, but also some just taking all the horses to Europe and have all them with them so they don't have to travel back and forth. Carlos, there we go, putting in a really nice clear round in a time of 72.52 on an H5 Shack attack. So adding another one to our list of clears, giving us back-to-back clears. So giving us 10 clears so far. He joins Henrik van Eckerman, Jessica Mendoza, Max Watchman, and Max Watchman, who were our clears in the second half of today's order. Next into the ring, we welcome Germany's Richard Vogel. He is aboard a Sidello. Sidello is an 11-year-old gelding by Castello out of for IFTA. This combination were winners of a 3-star during the fall, as well as coming second in a 5-star in Barcelona of last year during the final of the League of Nations. Also picked up several top placings as well, including in Aachen. Richie, of course, a very fast, experienced rider, has won nearly all the top Grand Prix. Another exciting rider to have here at Wellington International. Excited to see his top mount, United Touch, come out at some point here. Really beautiful round there for Richard Vogel and Sidello, giving us a clear in time of 75.56. Some of those riders just make the course look easy. So Richard Vogel giving us another clear and giving Germany a jump-off rider. So Richard joins our 10 other clears so far, so 11 clears so far. Those 11 clears coming from Paul O'Shea, Harry Charles, Amy Miller, Spencer Smith, Nicola Philipparts, Ben Mayer, Henrik von Eckerman, Jessica Mendoza, Max Watchman, Carlos Hank, and Richard Vogel. So 11 clear so far. We have about 10 left to go in today's class. Our first of 10 before the end of the first round of this 32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup will be Cian O'Connor. So next in we have Ireland's Cian O'Connor. He is aboard Ironman. Ironman is a 12-year-old gelding by Claire by Karsma Z out of Dindy Blue. This combination were third in the World Cup qualifier over in California in November of last year. They were also part of the winning Nations Cup team that jumped the Nations Cup in Spain the end of last year in October of 2024, representing Team Ireland. Cian has competed for Ireland on over 150 Nations Cup teams. Seems to be a key figure in all of Ireland's Nations Cup teams. Client Max Watchman already going clear so far. So hoping to add 2 to his camp today. Just unlucky there, just picking up that Oxer at 10. That Hermes Oxer that seemed to cause a lot of issues at the very start of the course and has now come back into play a little bit more. So Cian just finishing up there on the 4 jumping falls on time of 74.24. So nicely inside that time allowed. That time allowed is set at that 77 seconds. But just unfortunate with that 4 falls coming at the Hermes Oxer at 10. We have about 9 left to go in today's $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup here on the Derby field for week 2 of the Winter Equestrian Festival. Next into the ring is Adrian Sterlich. She is aboard Benny's Legacy. Benny's Legacy is a 17-year-old gelding by Loopcore out of Actorla. Just a little bit of a miscommunication going past the in-gate, so you can see Adrian just gonna collect herself, and it looks like she may approach one. Yeah, Adrian just choosing to jump number 1 there, so just choosing to retire Adrian Sterlich and Benny's Legacy. Choosing to retire in today's $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup during week 2 of the Winter Equestrian Festival. Next into the ring we welcome Ansgar Holsker Jr. Ansgar is aboard Pixel K van de Kettenhai. This is a 10-year-old gelding by I Am Morhoff's Star out of Florence van de Dorkenhoff. This pairing were the winners of a 2-star Grand Prix in the Netherlands during June of last year. Ansgar being one of our riders that spent his summer over in Europe, picking up some experience on a Nations Cup team, as well as having a very consistent summer with all of his mounts. Ansgar has a really nice group of horses, picking up some top results there at some very big locations over in Europe, and then returned to us here during the fall months. Jumped during pre-circuit, picking up some top placings, some wins, and now jumping during circuit. Very, very nice there. Clear on there for Ansgar Holsker Jr. Time of 76.23. So inside that time allowed, and giving the US a second rider in today's $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. So adding to our list of riders so far, so giving us our 12th clear in today's class. Those 12 clears coming from Paul O'Shea, Harry Charles, Amy Miller, Spencer Smith, Nicola Philipparts, Ben Mayer, world number 1 Henrik von Eckermann, Jessica Mendoza, Max Watchman, Carlos Hank, Richard Vogel, and now Ansgar Holsker Jr. Next, we welcome Ireland's James Brennan. He is aboard Rima OL. This is a 12-year-old mare by Thunder van de Zurnhof out of Zira Z. This combination jumped at a 5-star level in Spruce Meadows during the summer of 2024, as well as picking up some top 10 finishes, or finished top 10 in a 4-star welcome stake in Vancouver. As well as picking up some top placings during WEF of last year, so WEF 2024. You can see James come nice and wide back to that plank. Maybe something that might catch him in time falls at the end. You can just see him coming over. He still has to come down to this last line, and just time allowed definitely just going to be an issue today. So James finishing up there on the 16 jumping falls as well as 4 time falls in a time of 80.71 for James Brennan and Remoff OL. Next into the ring, we welcome Luis Fernando Lazabal. He is aboard Quick Chick 3. He is our first of 7 before the end of this $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup during week 2 of the Winter Equestrian Festival. Quick Chick 3 is a 10-year-old mare by Coyo Vados out of Jade the 5th. Quick Chick 3 is a previous mount of Mark Blumen. Mark picking up several top placings with this mare, as well as winning a 3-star winning round in California together. Just coming down to our last line a little bit, Rob, at that double. But coming home to our last line, time should be good. Really nice there, Luis Fernando Lazabal giving us a clear in time of 76.33. So inside that time allowed of 77 seconds. So adding another one to our list of jump off clears so far. So giving us 13 clears so far with 6 remaining in the first round of this $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. First Challenge Cup for the Derby field of the 2025 season. I believe our next to go will be Ocean's Quality and Emily Contour. Ocean's Quality is 11-year-old mare by Baltic VDL out of Vera. This combination were winners of a 5-star at the Dublin Horse Show in August of last year. They also picked up a top 10 finish in a 2-star Grand Prix in California in December of 2024. And picked up second in a 3-star ranking class in San Miguel, also at the end of the 2024 season. Emily also one of those riders that seem to follow the Major League Tour, so picking up those venues in Mexico as well as some experience in California before coming over to us here in Wellington, part of the Stefex stables. Really nice round there, Family Contour, giving us our 14th clear in a time of 75.56. So adding another one to the list for Belgium. Already one clear so far from Nicola Philipparts. So giving Belgium 2 riders in today's $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup Week 2 of the Winter Equestrian Festival. Next in, we have Andrew Wells. Andrew is aboard Idle H&H. Andrew is our first of 4 before there remains in today's class. Idle H&H is a 12-year-old gelding by Action Breaker out of Montana. This combination had a top 10 finish in a 3-star 2-phase in Traverse City this summer. Also we're clear in a 4-star welcome stake in Old Salem. Andrew's base being here in Wellington. His business based here with his wife Alex, the 2 of them running their farm together. Just unlucky having that plank down. So I believe that plank has come down over 10 times today. So Andrew just coming down to our last line at 12 and 13 with that 1 fence so far. Finishing up there on the 1 fence down at that plank at 9 in home in a time of 74.91 for Andrew Wells and Idle H&H. Next into the ring, we welcome Eduardo Pereira for Brazil. He is aboard H5 Sport Horses gelding Origi. This is an 11-year-old gelding by Vigo de Orsal STX out of Durana. Just unlucky picking up that second part of that double of verticals at 4B. On those 13 clears so far, or sorry, 14 clears so far, excuse me. That treble coming once again at that vertical at 9. 2 left to go in today's class. Eduardo just coming home there on the 8 jumping falls so far. Yeah, just finishing up there on the 12 jumping falls in a time of 76.54. So just inside that time allowed of 77 seconds, but still inside that time allowed, coming home there with the 12 jumping falls. Those falls coming at 4B and 9, and our last obstacle. Our first of 2 remaining in today's class will be Sarah Siegel, I believe. Yes, our next in is Sarah Siegel. Sarah is aboard Burrell de Fontomcom. This is a 14-year-old mare by Tinker's Boy out of Cuera de Oregon. This mare is a previous mount of Marie Pellegrini. However, this combination were third in a 3-star welcome stake in New York during the summer. Had a top 10 finish in a 4-star Grand Prix during the Holiday and Horses series here at Wellington International in December at the end of last year. They also picked up a top 10 finish in Ocala in a 3-star Grand Prix in December of last year before returning to us here at Wellington International. So spending some time with us here, then venturing out a little bit, and then coming back to us again for the Winter Equestrian Festival. Just coming home to that 1 down so far at that plank. And just clipping that last vertical also. Sarah just finishing up there on the 8 jumping falls in a time of 76.71. 14 clear so far with only 1 remaining to go. Those 14 clears coming from a wide variety of people. Clears coming from Paul O'Shea, Harry Charles, Amy Miller, Spencer Smith, Nicola Philipparts, Ben Mayer, all before our first drag break. And then after our drag break, Henrik von Eckermann, Jessica Mendoza, Max Watchman, Carlos Hank, Richard Vogel, Ansgar Holsker Jr., Luis Fernando Lazabel, and Emily Contour. Our last to go in today's $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup will be Michael Morrissey. He is aboard Incento SA. Incento SA is a 12-year-old gelding by Cardetto 933 out of RM Lucia the 7th. This combination were 3rd in the prestigious American Gold Cup in Traverse City in September of last year. Just unlucky having that vertical at 8 down. Really, the 2 main obstacles in today's course have been that vertical at 8 as well as that plank at 9. But Michael doing a really good job. Engine just picking up that Oxer at 10. Michael Morrissey just finishing up there on the 8 jumping faults in a time of 78.16, so also picking up 2 time faults, so giving him a total of 10 faults in today's class. He was the last to see in the first round of today's $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. We have 14 clears. Those clears coming from Paul O'Shea, Harry Charles, Amy Miller, Spencer Smith, Nicola Philipparts, Ben Mayer, Henrik von Eckermann, Jessica Mendoza, Max Watchman, Carlos Hank, Richard Vogel, Ansgar Hosker Jr., Luis Fernando Lazabel, and Amy Contour. We will do a quick touch-up of the surface, remove any jumps that we will not need for the jump-off, and we will return for the 14 in today's jump-off of this $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup, Week 2 of the Winter Equestrian Festival.
Okay, 13th we'll see Luis Fernando Larrazabal, and a quick sheet 3, and finally Emily Conta and Ocean Quality. Those are the lineup for the jump off for this Adequan WEF Challenge Cup, and for over 30 years, Adequan have been trusted by veterinarians, trainers, and horse owners as well. Ask your veterinarian if Adequan is right for your horse. Visit adequan.com.
From no-drill mud flaps and water-repellent seat protectors to our laser-measured floor liners, WeatherTech has everything you need. Order yours today at WeatherTech.com, the ultimate protection for your vehicle.
Bainbridge is a fully integrated multifamily real estate company that has developed and acquired more than 43,000 units, representing $8.1 billion in transactions since its inception. With over 650 associates nationally, Bainbridge engages in virtually every step of the real estate process, from development and construction to acquisition and disposition, asset management, and third-party management of multifamily real estate. Bainbridge is the 20th largest multifamily developer and 19th largest multifamily builder in the United States. Our team of experienced and knowledgeable professionals are devoted to creating exceptional living experiences for all of our residents and building lasting and mutually beneficial relationships with our partners and clients. Bainbridge is headquartered in Wellington, Florida, with offices and apartment communities in Florida, North and South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, Maryland, and Texas. To learn more, visit www.thebainbridgecompanies.com.
At Palm Beach Equine Clinic, we know your horse is not only a superior athlete, but a part of your family. With more than 30 veterinarians, 4 board-certified surgeons, and the most technologically advanced equine imaging suite in the country, Our team has all the skill sets required for accurate diagnosis and successful treatment. Palm Beach Equine Clinic is committed to providing exceptional service and care for both patients and owners. Visit equineclinic.com today to make us a part of your team.
Experience the true essence of equine serenity at Zen Elite Equestrian Center. At Zen Elite, horses and humans come together in perfect harmony. Located near the winter horse capital of the world, Wellington, Florida, our center offers unrivaled amenities designed to elevate your equestrian experience. Our facilities boast 32 stalls, 20,000 square foot covered arena, and a large outdoor arena with ESI footing. From grass paddocks to a luxurious horse gym and spa, we cater to every aspect of your horse's well-being. With top trainers in dressage and jumping, Zen Elite is the perfect place to pursue your equestrian goals. Our soul-soothing surroundings nurture the mind, body, and spirit of both horse and rider. At Zen Elite Equestrian Center, equestrian dreams thrive. Discover the harmony of horse and rider at Zen Elite Equestrian Center. Your journey begins here.
Getting set for the jump off for the $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup, and it is with the total of those going through into the teens, and it is 40 qualifying jump off, 30 in fact going to jump off over the track, designed by Olaf Peterson Jr. of Germany. $32,000 on the table from Adequan. Starting over fence 3, that's the Dog Technologies fence. From there up to 4B, so the second part of what was the Florida skyline, adding a little colour to the arena there at 4B. Rounds to 6A and B, so the double on track to the purple and white, and the mountainous effects to the double going across the centre of the arena, 6A and B. And they go past the ponds, then through the centre of them to the MS fence at fence 10 in the familiar orange colours. From 10 it is up to 11B. Sponsors Adequan fence. It's the second part of the Adequan double, just a vertical this time. And then on the rollback to the brake juice fence at new fence 15 on course, and so full rollback there. And finally to the Bainbridge Oxer as the last. That's the new final fence on course, going along the fence line as the last on track. Jump off order of Paul O'Shea, Harry Charles, Amy Miller, Spencer Smith, Nicola Philipparts, Ben Mayer, Henry Van Eckerman, all-star lineup so far, including a number of the world's top 10 in here. Jessica Mendoza going in 8th place, Max Washman, the Irish medalist, in 9th spot. Carlos Sangarero electing not to jump off. Richard Bogle, last year's Grand Prix winner, returns with Sidello, and that was a big sprint to the finish for them to win here last year. 12th goes to week 6 Grand Prix winner Ansgar Horses Jr., this time with Pixel K. Luis Fernando Larrazabal, the Venezuelan Olympian, will go penultimate combination. And then last to go is Belgian young rider medalist 2, Emily Conter of the Stephex tables and Ocean Quality. That's the lineup for those going in the jump off of this $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup here this afternoon. For over 30 years, Adequan have been trusted by veterinarians, trainers, and horse owners. Ask your veterinarian if Adequan is right for your horse as well. Visit adequan.com to learn more. Adequan, start with it and stay with it. Our thanks to American Regent Animal Health as well, makers of Adequan 2, sponsoring throughout the series in, of course, a whole list of the equine disciplines too. First making their way up for the jump off, and it's going to be Paul O'Shea as our very first to go for Team Eye Candy, and a prolific winning combination indeed, and gave us clear round number 1 as the 6th in the order, and the Irishman, the winter gelding by Diorado, Squirt Gun.
Welcome back to Wellington International. My name is Ellen Sweetnam, and we're here for the jump off of the $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup during week 2 of the Winter Equestrian Festival. We have had 14 clears from the first round, so we will welcome back all 14 clears today. Paul O'Shea being the first to take on today's course. Paul is aboard a Squirt Gun. The jump off course will start over the Dodd Technologies Oxer at 3, and then rolling down to 4B. Then coming back to 6A and B. So part A of 4 was removed, so just coming back to 6A and B. And then just galloping across the ring to our Hermes Oxer at fence 10. A little bit blind past that water pool. And then nicely down to 11B. A once again removed. And then turning back to 2 new obstacles in our course today. 15. That Brain Juice vertical. And then lastly down to the new Oxer fence 16. This Bainbridge Oxer. So Paul finishing up there with the 4 jumping falls in time of 47.79. That 4 falls coming there at the first jump at fence 3. So setting a nice pace though, putting pressure on people for the rest of today's class. I believe Harry Charles was due to come second, but has withdrawn from the jump off today. So next in we welcome Canada's Amy Miller. She is aboard Jagger HX. So once again, Paul putting in the first jump off round, just picking up the 4 falls on time of 47.79. So just concentrating on getting a clear, but also being fast with 14 in a jump off. It's very likely that your winner will be a clear and fast. So it's important to, even if you're at the start of the rounds, to just make sure that you put the pressure on from the get-go. So really nice over 3 and 4, and just needs to come back tight to this double at 6A and B. Jumping at a little bit of an angle, but you have to be a little bit careful jumping a double. Just losing a shoe there. Coming back to this Hermes Oxer. And then just really rolling down to 11B. And then you want to get tight back to this Brain Juice vertical, but you also have nothing to guide yourself out either, so it's a little bit, you have to be a little bit cautious of how tight you can go back to that vertical. And then cruising down to the last Oxer. Really nice there, Amy putting in a lovely double clear in a time of 45.94. So slotting her into the lead as of now. With just a 2 gone and our expected 12. We had 14 original clears. Harry Charles and Carlos Hank not returning for the jump off today. So really nice there for Amy Miller putting in a beautiful double clear in 46.94. Our next to enter the ring should be Spencer Smith. He is aboard HHS Seattle. So time to beat is set at that 45.94. Amy put in a beautiful round, but you know, there seems to be places where you can make up a little bit more time and then tend to be a little bit tighter. But also just really important to keep all those jumps up. Obviously the main objective is to go clear, so just important to keep all those jumps up and get faster than 45.94. So USA Spencer Smith is the next to tackle today's jump off round. So once again, starting over that Dog Technologies Oxer at 3, down to 4A, and then just nice and tight back to the double at 6A and B. So 3 to 4, then tight. And then just opening up a little bit. You can see Spencer just getting his canter a little bit more. And then just coming nice and tight back to this double at 6A and B. And then just really pushing across the ring to this Hermes Oxer at 10. And then just leaving them float down the distance to 11B. And then tight. You need to come tight back to this Brain Juice vertical. Really nice. And then just open up down to the last. Spencer putting in a really beautiful clear round there in a time of 45.08. So slots him into the lead as of now. Amy Miller slots into second in a time of 45.94. And Paul O'Shea with that 4 falls in a time of 47.79. So USA Spencer Smith slotting into the lead as of now, with still about 8 left to go in today's class. Belgium's Nicolas Philippart will be the next one to take on today's course. He is aboard Casco Blue. Or sorry, he's aboard Derby de Riverland. Time is set at 45.01. Set there by USA Spencer Smith. Nicola, of course, a very fast rider. Definitely not someone to count out in today's course. So really nice from 3 to 4, and you can just see him opening up to come back to 6A and B. Getting a nice angle to come across to the Hermes Oxer. You can just see him keeping a steady pace down to 11B, and then just needs to be tight. That was really tight. Back to this vertical. Really nice there. And then just putting the pressure down to this last fence. Nicolas Philippart's going clear there in a time of 44.78. So the lead takes a new spot once again. Nicolas Philippart's now in top spot in 44.78. Spencer Smith in second in 45.08. Amy Miller in third in 45.94. And Paul O'Shea in fourth with that 4 faults in a time of 47.79. So exciting class so far. 4 gone, 8 left. Next in, we welcome Ben Mayer aboard Dallas Vegas Batelli. As I said in his first round, this is Ben's Olympic mount. So exciting to see them over here in Wellington, choosing to spend their winter circuit with us here at Wellington International, jumping through the Winter Equestrian Festival. Really nice through 1 and 2, and then you can see him just moving up across the ring to 6A and B. And then just coming across the ring to Hermes Oxer at 10. Just really focusing on keeping his rhythm throughout the round. And then nice and tight. And really nice shot coming up there off the corner. Really nice round there for Ben. The winning spot takes another person once again. So top spot now going to Ben Mayer in a time of 44.26. So each rider getting faster and faster, which is really nice to see and very interesting to see. Ben going clear in a time of 44.26. Nicola Philippart's now in second in 44.78. Spencer Smith in 45.08. Amy Miller at 45.94. And Paul O'Shea just picking up that 4 faults in a time of 47.79. So very fast rounds put in today, very consistent. Everybody is within the same 2 seconds. So a very fast set of riders so far. Next into the ring, we welcome world number 1, Henrik van Eckermann. Seeing if he can take over top spot in today's $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup during week 2 of the Winter Equestrian Festival. Henrik is aboard Steely Dan. So once again, just down that line, 3, 2, 4. Not much you can do here. And then I think it's really just you land off 4, you need to move. You need just to really, make time up across the ring. So then you can steady yourself a little bit coming back to 6A and B. And just watch your horse a little bit, and then you just push across the ring. You keep that canter, you come across to this Hermes Oxer. Yes, it's very square. But just concentrating on just keeping that rhythm, and then just floating down to the vertical at 11. And then tight, really tight back to this Brain Juice vertical. And then just coming home to the last Oxer. Henrik just not fast enough. Really nice round there. Just putting him into 3rd place in a time of 44.80. That turn back to that Brain Juice vertical just didn't really seem to come up the way in which he probably wanted it to. So seemed to add a stride to that Brain Juice vertical. So just adding a bit of time there. But Ben Mayer still in that top spot in a time of 44.26. Nicola Philippart's in 2nd in 44.78. And now Henrik van Eckermann in 3rd in 44.80. With 6 left to go in today's class. Next in, we welcome Team GB's Jessica Mendoza. She is aboard In the Air. Jessica would have seen the 6 riders that have gone so far in today's class and known exactly where she can make up time. Where also is the best place for her horse to make up time. So you can really see her moving across the ground back to 6A and B. So really trying to gather some time and save some time down back to this double. And then just moving across the ground, coming back to this Hermes Oxer. And then pushed and just took a little bit of a hold. You want to make up time coming down to this vertical, but you also have to be careful. It's a very skinny, very tall vertical. Nice distance off that turn. Really nice round there for Jessica Mendoza. There we go. New leader. Jessica Mendoza goes into top spot in a time of 43.43. So taking that spot away from a fellow Team GB member, Ben Mayer. So Jessica's in the lead now in a time of 43.43. Ben Mayer in 2nd in 44.26. And Nicola Philippart's in 3rd in 44.78. Really nice round there for Jessica Mendoza. So in the top spot as of now, with still 5 left to go in the jump off of today's class. Next in, we welcome Ireland's Max Watchman. Max is aboard Fancy de Cargan. Time to beat is set at the 43.43 seconds, set by Jessica Mendoza. So 3 to 4, there's not much you can do down this line. And then it's just really working on landing from 4 and moving. And just picking up that pace, picking up your gallop. But just keeping that contact back with your horse to turn back to this big double at 6A and B. And then just once again picking up that flowing canter across the ring to this Hermes Oxer. Really nice jump over 11, and then just needs to come nice and tight. Tight. Really nice shot there for Max across that tight turn. Really nice round there for Max Watchman. Just put him outside the top spot there. Put him into 6th place as of now in a time of 45.11. We had a beautiful clear round there for Max Watchman on Fancy de Cargan. Jessica Mendoza still in that top spot in a time of 43.43 with 4 remaining in today's jump off class. I believe the next to go will be Richard Vogel. Richard, a notorious fast rider, so it'll be interesting to see what he does in today's jump off. Richard is aboard Sidello. So our first of 4 remaining in today's class. Our leader is Jessica Mendoza in a time of 43.43. This horse has a very, very big stride, so he will naturally make up time across the ground where other horses may struggle a little bit. So it didn't really seem like he galloped too much from 4 back to the double, but the stride of this horse is insane, so he's making up time just going across the ring. So back here to this Brain Juice vertical. A little bit of a slip, but got away with it. And then just coming down to the last Oxer. Does he have it? Just outside it. Richard slotting into 2nd place in a time of 44.03. So Jessica Mendoza still in that top spot in a time of 43.43 with 3 left to go. So Richard Vogel and Sidello going into 2nd place in a time of 44.03. Our 3 remaining are Ansgar Holsker Jr., Luis Fernando Lazabel, and Emily Contour. So still 3 very fast riders. So it isn't over yet today. I'm sure Jessica Mendoza is watching closely. So time to beat is set at 43.43, set by Jessica Mendoza on In the Air. Next in we have Ansgar Holsker Jr. on Pixel K Vanda Kettenhai. Really nice over 3 to 4, and then you can just see Ansgar just moving up his canter. And just opening to this Hermes Oxer. This course today is really about both moving and tight turns. You want to move from 4 to 6, and then to this Hermes you want to move also, but that tight turn back to 15 is really a lot to play for. You can gain a lot of time there, also lose a lot of time there. You see Richard Vogel was just outside the time and he had a little bit of a slip turning back. Ansgar putting in a really nice double clear there in time of 46.58, slotting him into 9th place as of now. But really nice clear round. Keep him in the top 10 placings there with our 2 left to go. Jessica Mendoza still in that top spot in a time of 43.43. Our 2nd last to go should be Luis Fernando Lazabel. Luis, a very fast rider, never someone to count out, always someone that has his hand in a jump off round, and definitely someone to watch in today's class. He's had 10 people to watch already, so definitely knows where and when he can make up some time. And next in, Luis is aboard Quick Chick 3. Time to beat is 43.43. So really moving up there, galloping across the ring to this double at 6A and B. And then moving, opening up that canter. Important to open up your canter, but also not lose that control and that balance coming to that big oxer. Nice over 11, and we'll just see how tight he comes back to this turn. Tight, very tight. Does he have it? Just outside of it. Slotting into a third place for Luis Fernando Lazabel. Coming home there in a time of 44.12. So below Bo Jessica Mendoza, who is in the lead in 43.43, and Richard Vogel in second in 44.03. With our last to go will be Emily Contour. As I said, Emily was the winners of a 5-star speed in at the Dublin Horse Show this year. So a fast combination. Will definitely try her best to beat Jessica Mendoza's time there. Time set at 43.43. Nice from 1 to 2, and then you can just see her galloping across. It's important now, like she's watched everybody else. You really need to make up time between 4 and 6 A and B, and then when you land off this to really move up across the ring to this Hermes Oxer. And then keep the canter down to 11, but it's also important to start collecting yourself. One, it's a very tall vertical, but also you want to get this tight turn back to this Brain Juice vertical at fence 15. And just unlucky picked up that fence as well as the last. So Emily just finishing there on the 8 jumping falls in a time of 43.97. So very fast time would have put her into second place. But just picking up those 2 down there at fence 15 and 16. So Jessica Mendoza is the winner of today's $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup during week 2 of the Winter Equestrian Festival. Richard Vogel taking second place. Luis Fernando Lazabel in third, Ben Mayer in fourth, Nicola Philparts in fifth, Henrik von Eckermann takes sixth, Spencer Smith in seventh, Max Watchman in eighth, Amy Miller taking ninth, Oscar Holsker Jr. in 10th, Paul O'Shea in 11th, and Emily Contour in 12th. So Jessica Mendoza taking top spot in week 2 of the Winter Equestrian Festival in our Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. Before we close out today's live stream, we'd like to say thank you to a few of our sponsors. Our title sponsor of WEF 2 is WeatherTech. At WeatherTech, our high performance solutions are designed to protect your vehicle from damage no matter what you drive. Visit WT.com to find your fit today. We'd also like to say thank you to Adequan, who are the sponsors of today's Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. Adequan, American Region Animal Health maker of Adequan Polysulfate Glycan, is a proud sponsor of the $32,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup round 2 during WEF 2. For over 30 years, Adequan has been trusted by veterinarians, trainers, and horse owners. Visit adequan.com to learn more. Presenting our live stream is Dodd Technologies, your partner in engineering extraordinary experiences since 1983. Discover how they elevate sports, entertainment, and corporate events at doddtechnologies.com. USCF is also a supporting sponsor of our live stream in partner with the support of the U.S. Equestrian Federation and the USCF Network. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today for the Adequan WEF Challenge Cup for week 2 of the Winter Equestrian Festival. I'm Ellen Sweetnam, and thank you again for joining us, and I will talk to you guys soon.
first order for the presentations of this Adequan WEF Challenge Cup, Luis Fernando de Rasabal, Richard Vogel, and Jessica Mendoza. And coming up to top three in the presentation, and in third place, and we're delighted to welcome in Valerie Yakori, the Southeast Key Account Manager with Adequan, to make the presentations. Third place there going to Luis Fernando Lazabal and Quick Ship 3. Second, going the way of Germany's Richard Vogel and Sandelo. And the winning combination walking forwards is Jessica Mendoza of Great Britain, wins our international class of the day with her own in the air. And congratulations to our leading three, and things are still set for the victory gallop. Very well done to lead off our three highly competitive class. Great way to take us into the afternoon. And the winner is Jessica Mendoza and